Pub Battles Marengo. As I do with Marengo, I begin with the Austrians already have done their surprise move. So now we begin on turn 1. Now on this first turn, the French player notes that Mela seems to be coming up this way, most of his forces, and he'd like to just throw everything to the north. This is north. But because there's this force here, he also has to protect these two supply lines that the Austrians have an option of capturing. Is this road here and this road here. Victor falls back as far as he can. Linné is trying to hold them in place and guard the exploding Austrians coming out of the north. Alright, at the end of turn 1 movement, it is an interesting observation to say that while heading up this way is much faster, you're on road movement the whole way marching up here, it will take time to reform at this end. And it'll be interesting to see if they actually gain anything by going this way as opposed to just coming up straight up the middle and starting the battle early. Turn 2. After 2 turns of movement, 3 turns including the Austrian surprise move, the lines are beginning to form up. The question being, will the Austrians be able to break through and can the French hold them? Turn 3. The Austrian artillery has broken a hole in the French line and Ott's troops begin filling through. Turn 3, and the last of Mela's troops are leaving the citadel. There has been some light artillery fire, but this far, no major battles. Turn 4. The Austrians begin a drive on the French right flank towards the supply line that they need to capture. Alright, the detachment on the extreme French right disappears as the grenadiers attack, and Mornier falls back. Turn 5. Finally, after all these turns of just simply moving and slight maneuvering, this turn things are going to happen. Desai arrives. He'll add his chit to the bowl. Okay, turn 5, and there's a serious Austrian drive and threat for their supply line to capture there. The Emperor himself is racing to secure it. Here, Ravel's light cab simply drift away from the attack. Here, however, the cab here can't run away because they're being flanked by cab. We have a stunning upset as Champeau's cavalry are able to drive back. Beginning of turn 6, and the game is too close to call at this point. Here on turn 6, the game ends because the Austrians have come into contact with an unpacked French baggage. Now, I have been simplifying my games and saying if the bags are sacked, that side loses, game over. It's actually technically a little more involved than that. You add up victory points at the end of the turn. Because this has been contacted, because I've sacked the baggage, this is the last turn. We play through the entire turn, the combat phase in other words, and then we compare victory points based on what each side has destroyed. Now if you've routed the enemy, destroyed over 50% of their infantry blocks, you quadruple your victory points. That's huge. If you've broken the army, which is what's occurred here, I've captured the baggage, you triple your points. And if they voluntarily say, pack up and say we're out of here, you double the points. Right now, the French have lost 1 detachment. The Austrians have had no units entirely lost. 1 detachment is 1 point, tripled because of this. So the Austrians would win with 3 points. But let's finish combat and see what it comes up with. Okay, when all is said and done, the French were able to destroy 1 infantry block, that's 3 points. The Austrians were able to destroy 2 detachments, which is 2 points, multiplied by 3 because they destroyed a baggage, so that's 6 points. 6 to 3, the Austrians have won. But the victory conditions for this game say that the Austrians have to capture this point or this point, and they have not, and the game has ended. The French needed to break the Austrian army, which they have not done. The Austrians needed to break out, which they have not done. So the game ends a draw, or as I like to say, both sides have lost.